Hello and welcome to Straight Talk, Supply Chain Insights, the podcast for your supply chain leader who is on the go and wants to be in the know. And now, your host, Lora Cecere.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Supply Chain Insights. My name is Lora Cecere, and today I am interviewing a very important guest from HMD Global. Gisele, tell the group a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gisele Nogueira. I work for HMD Global, the new home of Nokia phones, and I'm leading the global order management team.
Well, and Gisele, I had a great opportunity to connect with you when I was in Europe, and you were telling me a little bit about the work you were doing with software robots. Can you share a little bit about that project and what your insights were?
Yes, RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation, that can essentially copy the desktop work that physically we are doing all day long. Wherever we are picking up the data from an email, typing data into application, sourcing data from a website, and using it within the business and our SAP, for example. RPA is a piece of software that copies that action and do it much faster, far from more accurately, and with practically no errors. It's basically changed the nature of the work for that person that has been sitting in front of the desk for 8 hours a day, doing data entry, check, I would say.
You know, software robots are pretty cool, but sometimes people say that they need to be programmed and they need a cognitive layer. What do you think the future of software robots are as we get to Supply Chain 2030? How do you think they'll evolve?
Well, we have been seeing that the RPA has been reducing the manual things in order to cash, invoicing, vendor management. But I see the RPA is beyond the process optimization. I believe that we will see soon AI, machine learning, allowing the RPA to handle more complex and less repetitive tasks. The shift will be exponential for the value of RPA driving boom for the industry. We will probably see fully process automated, such as requests for quotation performing analysis for vendors, of vendors evaluation, credit checks, etc. Human intervention could be just specifying the work and engaging, visiting with the potential vendors.
Now, when I met you, you're, full of energy, got lots of spunk. What advice would you have for other people that maybe aren't quite as innovative or ability to take the plunge? What advice would you have?
I would say that you need to start. It's about I'll say most of the times we don't understand really the concept, but we need to start early to plan, forecast, and measure. Because RPAs can really bring in results.
So if someone was going to start, but they don't know anything about RPA, how would they get started?
Well, there are different ways to start. For example, we have some very basic platforms that we don't even need to pay for them. So we can create simple robots on these applications and show to our senior management team how it works. And then we can check how much of our processes are handling these repetitive tasks. And then this is the business case to our companies, our management, that we can move forward. This is more or less how we started. Because in the beginning, our senior management team said, this is quite complex, this will take years. And we used one example that has proven the value, and we started the project right after that.
So when you talk about the platforms that we have that we could program, can you give an example of a platform that most people have?
Well, I would say UiPath, automation anywhere, Blue Prism. I would say that based on our studies, they are more or less doing the same. There are some differences, but not related too much to the user interface, but it's more or less how replicable the process it is. In one platform it will be faster and easier, and other will be a bit more complicated. But I would say that each business has their unique characteristics. This needs also to be checked.
So how did your team feel about using software robots? Sometimes people are quite afraid, what's it going to do? How am I going to interface with it? Is it going to replace my job? How did your team receive this?
That's a very good question, because when we started, the team was really, oh my God, this is going to replace my job. And then we said, no, let's welcome our digital workforce. So then they were a little bit okay, what is this? But the main drive is to coach the team that the idea is that they are going to be released for typing kind of work, and we would like to raise their profiles and their activities daily to be more value-added activities. And they bought immediately. So sometimes we have I have this repetitive task. Can RPA automate it for me? I said, it's good that you mentioned, and then we start automating this kind of repetitive. Yes, there is, I would say, some perception that, this is going to take my job, but it's actually, it's the opposite. It will drive them to increase in their career, because they're not going to be typing anymore. They can do different things.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Gisele is in Finland, and it's quite cold there today, and her native land is Brazil. And so when I met her, she was flying in between two continents with very, very different demographics and climates. Gisele, thank you for joining us and telling us a little bit about RPA, robotic process automation. I think it is one of the really compelling technologies that could help us for Supply Chain 2030. But as you say, we got to get started. Thank you, and until next time.